various national, international research papers in various reputed journals with a index factor, and also presented various international, national oral poster presentation. Sir has been awarded first prize in pharmaceutical analysis section for oral poster presentation. Also, he has got various fellowship, travel fellowship from International Society for the Study of Xenobiotica and Center for Cooperation in Science and Technology among developing societies, and promoted by Indian National Science Academy in association with scientific agencies and departments of Chennai. Also received a fellowship from Japanese Society for Study of Xenobiotics for attending 23rd International Conference at Japan. Sir has received PD Sethi Award for Best Research at APTI 2009. And with this all, now, sir, I will request you to take ahead for the next session.
Yeah, thank you very much for your nice words and nice introduction. And it's my pleasure to have connected with the college, with your college, and it's a great pleasure to talk again on nutraceuticals. Nowadays, it is one of the very emerging trend and one of the important aspects which really everyone needs to have, and everyone is nowadays, as a pandemic situation, we always thinks about first as a nutritional point of view, as we are aware about the COVID situations and pandemic situations also. So with this, I am really a thank to the management and staff of Sharadchandra Pawar College of Pharmacy, Otur. Now, I'll begin with my topic. Now, coming to the nutraceuticals, why it is as an emerging trend. First, just I'll make some few arrangements so that it will be very easy for me to work it out. So now, the India. Of all major aspects is nowadays everyone is having a vulnerable to a lifestyle alignments, means work, more days job, and everyone is aware that nowadays people becomes more conscious about health and fitness, and semi-urban population becomes very much about the conscious about health and food. That is again important aspect which results into malnutrition, a deficiency of micronutrients, and this lead to a supplements. These are the one of the aspects which specifically Indian population we have to work it out. Increasing the awareness on health problems, preventive steps, driving the nutraceutical industry. One of the aspects, people are more aware compared to if previously, if you look at the eras of 90s, even before, prior to that, compared to that and today's, if you look at the simple aspects, people are very much aware about, say, small health aspects is there. Immediately they will try to get the preventive steps, and it starts from the nutrition which we take day-to-day basis. Increasing the cost of hospitalization and complex procedures, people are always about, everyone of us, if hospitalization is there, always we think of, okay, cost and complexity of the procedure is there. So these are the one of the important factors which drives the consumers towards the health supplements and nutraceuticals. Always, as important as pharmaceutical peoples, prevention is better than cure. This comes in a first of all nowadays in everyone's mind. As a result of this, we always think what important supplements. Even if you look at our monthly expenses and all the aspects, we always think that if you look at our grocery list, we are adding so many nutritional as well as a nutraceutical formulations to our list of groceries. And this leads to a massive growth opportunity for nutraceutical industries, specifically in case of India, as a population is considered. This is one of the important factor. Also, the spending always as a financial aspects and all to the future perspectives. Now, what is the status of the food? If you look at the angle, whether it is really a traditional one, what traditional foods, and this traditional foods really gives a benefit of medicine. And why we want to have this a traditional medicine to get the benefits of the medicine as a mainly aging population, as a geriatric patients is there, we don't want to have any effects, specifically day-to-day food should have it in such a way that they should have a fit and healthy. Rising healthcare cost to avoid that, proactiveness towards the health and awareness, and increase the income of the people. This is also a aspects which look into that, and increasing the lifestyle related diseases and rapid advance. This I will cover in a future slides. What are things aspects and how it will be connected with our aspects. Now, as an overview, if you look at the epidemiological studies, the relationship between the dietary habits and disease are at this. Nowadays, peoples are rather than more nutritional way, peoples are more oriented to the taste wise and the ambience wise. If you look at the food, and this relates to the revolution to the junk foods. The FDA clearly states that what exactly the junk food says and what is exactly the junk food effects on a health. Specifically, this aspects is very, very important and very, very need to study, specifically in kids who are having overweights and all that. The mainly food has a direct impact on health. The human population lives a longer and chronic age-related disease, which related to dietary habits, mainly cardiovascular diseases, neurodegenerative disease, diabetes, and cancer. These are all related to our habits of a diet. Plant-derived foods such as wine, fruits, nuts, vegetables, grains, legumes, species, it exerts a beneficial effects on human health, and people are getting deprived of these of the aspects. Then what aspects we really look for the paradigm shift in nutraceutical to satisfy particular dietary requirements and or to provide a meaning. Why we require to have the nutraceuticals? We require some nutraceuticals to satisfy particular dietary requirements and to provide a medical health or benefits. Lack of medical aid, a general skepticism about allopathic medicine. Nowadays, people will be always thinks, hey, what side effects I'll get because of allopathic medicine? Do I have any kind of a components from a food which gives a same kind of effects as allopathic medicine like your curcumin and all? Then that food fats makes a nutraceutical extremely popular. Being a versatile in nature in pharmaceutical foods and beverages, animal feeds, additives, and personal care. These are the one of the growing industries from only not a nutraceutical, but it is from shift from the nature to the these industries. Recent innovations and findings of functional specific antioxidants are expected to create new opportunities in a booming sector. If you look at the share, 67% shares occupied by nutraceutical markets in the pharma domain. Major are nutraceutical, the pharma players plays a role as a nutraceutical. Increase in the public understanding, health responsibility, shift in the consumption towards a nutraceuticals also there. A recent estimate that nutraceutical market in India is significantly condensed, mainly in south compared to your east, and gaining a serious traction in rural areas nowadays. And this is because of the lifestyle. Even a simple aspect, a diabetic person who nowadays is having a protein diet, a DM diet is available. Now, as a add to my topic, I was just looking at some of the literatures, and WHO also has given a very much a segmentive approach in this pandemic situation. Sorry. So, the nutraceutical in the management of COVID, you're always aware that people now as a prophylactic, we are always when the situation started in 2019, we all rush to get the vitamin C, vitamin D, and again other zinc supplement for them. These nutraceuticals in the management of the COVID, mainly they improve the sleep, then a mucilary clearance, which we affect that there may be chances of attacking on a through naso, improve a vessel permeability, reduce the coughing, antiviral properties, so many nutrients is having it, anti-inflammatory, mainly normalize the pulmonary functions, augment the phagocytosis, which is the main reason in a COVID situation where it starts from the lungs, antioxidant, improve gut function. This also, as a better nutrition, will result into shorter ICU and a further complications, reduce respiratory infections, improve immunity, which is mainly the cause for the nutraceuticals. And most of them will have a anti-diabetic potentials also. And what of the materials which really used in the management of the COVID, like vitamins, which we know very well, vitamin C and vitamin D, dietary minerals, zinc and selenium and iron, N-acetylcysteines, amino acids, probiotics, omega-3 fatty acids. And this list is goes on very much. Flavonoids like quercetin, resveratrol, you know. Now, coming to these are the mainly the flavonoids which we look in, mainly lutein, quercetin. I will just share in further slides also. These are the materials in which of the food materials is available. Resveratrol, ECGC, epicalogatagins, hesperidin, and quercetin. These are the very, very important in our day-to-day life. Now, currently, preventive health cares are very, very important as individuals are concerned, and we really follow nowadays very much. Mainly nowadays, the preventive health cares are concerned specifically like cholesterol controls and weight controls, avoidance of, and these are the major targets in nutraceuticals. If you look at the compared to your 90s era, and now compared to the currents, most of people are really working on that, and these are the major contribution of the diseases nowadays in society. These are then blood pressure controls, diabetes, women care during the pregnancy, GI orders, lactose intolerance, and also the factors which career contributes to gender and age. The segmentation increase in dietary supplements markets as a product as are aimed at the such targets. Again, if you look at really any kind of treatments nowadays, doctors also suggesting that any kind of treatments, if it is there, they immediately try to provide the immediately some kind of a vitamins and supplements during a hospitalization or a post hospitalization. Why? Because to improve the a patient condition as through a nutraceutical aspect. Because nowadays diets are not like olden eras where they will have a nutritious diets. Now, food industries in 21st centuries, mainly the efficient nutrition we do have. Nowadays, rather health and convenience than as a time factors. Nowadays, people are more towards the pleasures, towards as a pleasure, as a more fun entering into that exotic taste and premium. Mainly, if you look at the all these burgers, pizzas, and all these things. And this is a paradigm shift, specifically in healthcare industries. Mainly gluten-free indulgence, even a hypochondriac factors as health aspects and convenience. More individuals are there. So these nowadays a very, very contributing factors to the disease as well as a very much high contributing factors to this disease as well as a physical condition of a person. Now, what are the facets of nutraceuticals? Nutraceuticals offers health as well. What is the importance of the aspects as well as medicinal benefit? This prevents it and a treatment of a disease, even enhancing the physiological performance and promote the quality of life. Nutraceuticals in these are the mosaic products as a lucrative products, and these are the very much it's a for a mosaic products to the industry segment. Most of the pharmaceutical companies now they are starting these portfolios. Specifically, important aspects if you look at the all the big players like Pfizer, Glaxo, these they do have most of the nutraceutical products, even our lactogens, which were baby feedings, and so many products which are protein powders and all. So these are nutraceutical products for the food industry as well as husband and dietary supplements, pharmaceutical industries, and newly merged businesses like agribusiness, nutrition conglomerates, and pharmaceuticals. Now, what exactly nutraceuticals means? Nutraceuticals a link of two words: nutrition, nourishing the food elements, and pharmaceuticals, nothing but a medicinal drugs. These are a combination of foods having effects of a drugs that is nothing but a nutraceuticals, as a vitamin E. Currently, individuals are highly likely to self-medicate through a nutraceuticals or functional foods or organic foods and a botanicals and over-the-counter medicines. So this emerging market is coming because of all these things. Now, if you look at the hierarchy in a food, first we have minimal intensity. That's a basic foods. That is nothing but it mainly gives a nutritional equilibrium. Then the some foods which comes in enriched or improved foods. Then some foods that comes to the functional foods, and lastly the drug foods, which have a high health effects in this case. Now, question comes, if you look at this, if you search on literatures, there comes other questions, whether nutritional nutraceuticals or functional foods. There are so many terminologies nowadays is available in a global platform. But these are what exactly, how to differentiate among them. But as a major terminology, it comes as a nutraceuticals or functional foods. Nutraceuticals are diet supplements which delivers a concentrated forms of bioactive agent from a food and presented in a non-food matrix and for a health, for enhancing the health in a dosage form. These are the nutraceuticals mainly, which are concentrated forms like vitamin C tablets is a nutraceutical. However, functional foods consumed regularly exerts a specific health benefits effects beyond their nutritional properties. Healthier status, low risk of disease, and effect must be scientifically proven. That is a functional. We will see some examples also further. Now, where the exactly bondage lies between these nutraceuticals and functional foods. But as if you look at the bondage between nutraceuticals and functional food is not very much clear. For example, when a phytochemicals or phytochemical extract is included in a food formula, that is 300 milligram of extract is dissolved in a 1 liter of juice, we have a new potential of a functional foods. But the same amount of phytochemicals or phytochemical extracts included in a capsule, I do have a 300 milligram capsules, which constitutes a same kind of phytochemicals and phytochemicals or extract, then that becomes a nutraceutical. But if I dissolve these capsules in a 1 liter juice, then it becomes a functional food, because over the days I am going to drink this 1 liter of juice. So although consumption of 1 liter of functional juice provides the same kind of bioactive compounds, which I'm going to get from 1 liter of one capsule. Simple. So these are the main difference. I hope everyone could have got this. What is exactly the main difference? But this is the main difference in a functional food and a nutraceutical. Both are going to get same effect. It may be depend upon a kind of exert a time of action. It may take some time after taking a functional food, but there may be chance each one has its own advantage and disadvantage. So new functional food will be regulated, whereas a nutraceutical still it is in very descent phase and they are not regulated much yet. So if you look at the piece of history, specifically how this terminology came and how these aspects of nutraceutical came, a deep interest in and concern about the integrity of food supply from the past. It is not now, and we are going away of that. Attention from the historical arena, from the philosophers and physicians, the role of daily diet is individual in public health is very, very important. Hippocrates lets the food be medicine and medicine be food. This was the coin, it terms in 460s or 377 BC. Pinley and Elder in 23 and 1980, so many poisons are employed to force wine to suit our taste, and we are surprised that it is not a wholesome. In contrast, Galen in 131 and 1 AD, a physician to establish sound diets that would advance the public health. So these are the terms which are coming from very, very old era. But where we goes nowadays? A Kashmir funk discovered in the shell of rice grain, a nitrogen-containing amine base, that is amine, considered as a life essential for the human beings, and which was the birth for the vitamins. Vitamins, life, and amine is nothing but a amino acid. Reviewed evidences concerning the etiology of several food-related diseases and proposed that the absence of vitamins causes so many diseases. Now, a recent just case that came across to us is a drinking of a mineral water. A case was reviewed at our end. The mineral water, a continuous long term of a drinking of a mineral water results in deficiency of vitamin B, which results in several cancers of diseases. The piece again, a nutraceutical was coined in 18. First, as a nutraceutical terminology is a 1989 was coined by Stephen DeFelic, a founder and chairman of the Foundation for Innovation in Medicine, New York, US, and Educational Foundation, which was established by the US authorities to provide a name for this rapidly growing era of biomedical research. Nutraceuticals are any substance. What exactly is a nutraceutical? Nutraceuticals is any substance that may be considered a food or a part of food, provides some medical or health benefits, including the prevention and treatment of disease. These are the isolated nutrients, maybe dietary supplements, diets to genetically engineer designed foods, herbal products, processed foods such as cereals, soups, and beverages. This is a very big a cartoon which is available whenever the nutraceuticals we always search. We try to lose weight and but we do not try to change our diet habit. That is one of the message I want to convey here. Now, a recent study by mapping global malnutrition trends in India, the obesity rate is increasing 20%, and it's a alarming situation from children to the young generation or adult generation. Mainly, the very serious health concerns are associated with the mainly as obesity, results into cardiovascular disease, diabetic mellitus, and one of the most serious growing concerns is diabetes. Including cases the obesity and diabetes, the urban lifestyle, including the influence of Western culture. We are very prone to follow the Western cultures. Takeaway foods. So many companies are increasing nowadays for the all junk foods and all. And we are always influenced very much high rates. In the past few years, project promising opportunities for substantial interest for companies to enter into Indian nutraceutical markets. I will cover why it is so. There are potential nutritional aspects and safety and therapeutic effects. International Obesity Task Force reports majority of European countries have increased by 10 to 15% in last 10 years. This is one of the obesity index. In US, approximately 60% of the adult population is classified as overweight. That is based on BMI index. Now, what is a market segment for this nutraceutical? Really, the revenue-wise, this is a very lucrative. The global nutraceutical market should reach a 336.1 billion by 2030, which is from a $230 billion. Now, it's increasing with a CAGR rate of 7.8%. Functional beverages and segment of global nutraceutical market is expected to grow by 83.1 billion to $124.4 billion, and which is increasing by 8.4%. The functional food segment for global nutraceuticals is very, very high, growing with by 8.1%. Now, but what is status in India? If you look at the angle from 2.8% of 20 CGRA of 70%, this rate is increasing from 2015 to 22 data. And what are the driving factors for that? The lifestyle diseases, transformation in food habits, less physical work, increase the desk job. Compelling Indian consumers to become more conscious towards health and fitness are nowadays getting up. The Indian nutraceutical market is forecasted to increase by 8.5%, 17% CGRA, and expected to reach by 8.5 billion US dollars in 2022. Then, if you look at the Asia Pacific region, specifically for nutraceutical, Asia Pacific region is the most innovative regional for nutraceutical, mainly soft drinks. 36% products are launches in 20. Nowadays, even if you look at the simple, even our local markets, nowadays Jeera drinks and all started because of this. Food drinks was the largest category in terms of all shares in nutraceutical, which contributes a 21% in coming years. The most common product is positioning in 2016 as providing energy. Pomegranates was a fastest growing flavor in nutraceutical beverages, and orange was the most common flavor in 2006, which is category. The nutraceuticals are increasing tapping into children's health issues and highlighted by emerging markets for both dental healthcare and muscle development. Now, strengths for the nutraceutical market. Why this is happening or more market capture or highest is the taking place in India, the strongest markets in the world, India. Why? Because the population aspects. Many of the supply drivers are associated with this market. So only most of the Western world companies are deprived to come into Indian markets. Why? Because India is having better GDP growth rate among the $1 billion economies, a large coastal spanning over 7,500 kilometers of area, which covers 12 majors and 200 minor ports, make an ideal manufacturing hub for the global value chain. Largest number of US FDA approved plants are located in India. If you look at the other than US, and which a strong statement to its ability to line itself against global competitors. Always the lowest labor cost among Southeast Asian countries. Ample availability of ingredients. India is a hub for fruits and medicinal plants. World's second largest producers of fruits and vegetables, largest producers of milk, and as third largest market for active pharmaceuticals ingredients. A herbal era of Indian climate or in Indian environment is a very, very high. The advantage of India's various climatic conditions are available in India, from desert to ice fall to highly monsoon states. A significant increase in internet penetration. Why this is driving factor? Because most of the adult populations uses internet or their smartphones, which increase in a awareness of FMCG products. Of 40% of the total spent on FMCG influenced by digital market, which is an opportunity of US dollars for 45 billions. Now, if you look at the nutraceutical, what are these kind of products? What are the categories? Really, so many people are unaware of this fact. So by category, if you look at the nutraceuticals by category, there are functional foods, functional beverages, dietary supplements, and personal care products. We day to day life, we always come across these products, but we try to ignore it. As a functional foods, confectionery, bakeries, snacks, dietary non-drinkables, meats, grains, flours, frozen fruits and vegetables, and so many other categories are functional foods. Where functional beverages, non-carbonated drinks, dairy drinkables, fruits and vegetable juice, tea and coffee and others. Yes, tea is a functional beverages. Again, dietary supplements, vitamins and multivitamins, minerals, herbals, and others. And personal anti-aging shampoos or hair conditioner. Nowadays, you do have protein shampoos, mouthwash, lip balms. These are the products which are comes as a nutraceutical by product category. Nutraceutical by applications, sports and energy, gender wellness, weight management, health, heart health, GI and digestive health, beauty and aging, type 2 diabetics. ESOP goal is one of the best example nowadays in geriatric populations. We always try to do, and a memory and mental health. These are the most of the products even we do have in a through a Ayurveda as well as a homeopathic medicines. By ingredients, if you look into the nutraceuticals, vitamins and minerals, probiotics and prebiotics, phytochemicals, fibers, omega-3, and proteins and peptides. There are so many. Even these are the these are the categories we always try to nowadays from Google. We always try to search and we try to always look what are the plants and all which having this kind of ingredients. Sorry, yes. Now, what are the coming advantages of nutraceuticals, which retards the progression of disease? One of the very, very important by acting upon the root cause of the diseases, which prevents prevention of the disease, diabetes, renal and gastrointestinal disorders, mainly different infections which are really prevented by the same. Combating the lifestyle related health issues, advantages in treating the obesity, coronary heart disease, cancers, and other chronic and degenerative disease. We always talk so many about Tulsi and other related this nutraceutical aspects. Reduces the treatment cost, offer a low cost and early controls of the risk factors for a numerous number of diseases, heart disease by improving the immune, delay in aging and increase the life expectancy, and a safe for use. Always, we always try to look into that. Always we look what is the side effect of any medications we take. Obtain a natural source having no side effects and safe. Now, it is not easy to have a nutraceutical products ready to hand. It is always a challenging to develop a nutraceutical product. For development of the foods and food components has created a tremendous academics and commercial and regulatory and public interest. These are always the challenging factors. Challenges ahead are related to quality, safety, and efficacy. These are very, very important because whenever a product is delivered to any kind of a person, because these are going to be health effects, we always have to look at quality, safety, and efficacy. In many cases, there are still a number of unknowns such as identification of specific active compounds, their absorption and metabolics in human body, and the effects of processing on the products contained there. When we are looking at some of the compounds as a research point of view, we always look any particular components when we extract from any plant and we try to look at its efficacy, it may not get, because when these components, when it is provided along with as extract, always it gives a very good effect compared to extracting a single component. But as how we are getting these effects, there are so many unknowns are there. There is so many lot of opportunity to work to identify the constituents, to identify, merge them with other constituents, to work in such a way that you will have a good effect. But these are the very lying area where much work has not been done. Nutraceuticals main aspects, if you are extracting any particular components and try to deliver it, major aspects of nutraceuticals is stability. Quality loses over a storage as a food in a packed product at temperatures or humidity. And it's a low solubility. Most of the, even if you look at the quercetin, which is a very known as a flavonoid available. Flavonoid available, this quercetin is a very colorful, like if you take a grapes, if you take it as a mango and all, nutraceuticals available. But if you look at the quercetin, and if you try to solubilize it, it's a very slow solubility of the quercetin is there. As a herbal nutrient, many plants known to have medicinal effects and is used as a medicine. Even today, about 75% of the world population still relies on a plant and plant extract and other tools for traditional medicine to assist in a basic health care. There are globally decline in incidence of many infections in endogenously caused a chronic disorder increasing the second half of the 20th century because of the nutraceuticals herbal. And traditional medicine has begun to attract a worldwide attention. This is one of the herbal nutraceutical advantages. Whereas these natural compounds have several great advantages over the other therapeutic agents, mainly allopathic and other kind of agents. Many diets are rich of these phenolics and are a daily consumes, rarely have a side effects, relatively long life, and easily absorbed in the intestine after ingestion. As a flavonoids is one of the important class of all these nutraceutical aspects. Uh, I request all the participants, if it is too fast, kindly let me know, or if you have any questions, you can ask me anytime, or at the end of the session, we can have a questions also. So flavonoids, a class of polyphenols as secondary metals, are presented broadly in plants and diets, our day-to-day. And all these flavonoids is having a wide variety of a medicinal effects. Flavonoids are considered as a golden medicine nowadays because not only anti-inflammatory, anti-ulcer, antiviral, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic. There are a number of a effect of these flavonoids. They are a physiological very first condition they are used. The low aqueous solubility of the flavonoids may play a major role in the therapeutic efficacy, leads to its medicinal application. Low solubility relates to a lower absorption. Sorry. Low solubility relates to a lower absorption and with a shorter residence time in the intestine does not allow human to suffer acute toxic effect from the consumption. There are exceptions for rare occurrence of allergies are also there, but they are very, very low in this case. Now, sources of some dietary flavonoids are like flavones, which are catechin, epicatechin, epigallocatechin. These are available in teas. Flavones, chrysin, epigin, these are luteins which are available in fruit skins, red wine, buckwhites, and red peppers and tomato skins. Flavonols is mainly the camphorol, quercetin, mycetin, and tamaxetin, onion, red wines, olive oil. These are the grapefruits. Flavones are naringin and naringenin, citrus fruits and grapefruits, isoflavones, and anthocyanins. How I came, because if you look at my research topic is totally different than how I came across. I was working during my doctoral studies, I was working on a drug interactions of flavonoids with a anti-diabetic drugs, mainly pioglitazones and all. Then I came with this new topics as nutraceuticals and flavonoids, and I worked mainly quercetins and naringenin also, and which these are the components which alters a cytochrome enzymes which are responsible for metabolism of the drugs. And this era started with a different, then I received a grants when I was working with Manipals on these aspects, and we worked so much and on a cosmeceuticals as a nutraceutical aspects. Now, as a regulatory status, these are the one side of the nutraceuticals where very so much opportunities are there. But as any pharmaceutical nutraceuticals products is concerned, a regulatory agencies always plays a role, which are a stopper to reach to the consumers. But as not a stopper, we say they always works as a they always works mainly when we are reaching to the peoples. They always as a work as a policeman, because so many companies are doing so many aspects nowadays. We are always aware, as if you look at the USFDA data, there are so many aspects we have to work. There is strong relation by consumers and the policy makers. Nutrition has a direct link to maintenance of a global health, and diet needs to be improved for healthy lifestyles and prevention of some chronic diseases. Many products derived from natural sources are being marketed as a health promoters. That is also there. So many product people, even as a promoter of the health product, but really these products contains as a nutritional components or not. That also we have to look. Regulatory agencies are caught between the lack of explicit guidelines and consumers' demand for availability of such components with a full approval for safety of such products. These are a really big challenge for regulatory agencies. As a pharmaceuticals concerns is that we are not directly dealing with the consumers. Unlike other industries, we always deal with the regulatory agencies, and regulatory agencies plays a very important role to deliver a safe quality and medicines to the consumers. Now, what are the challenges to the regulatory agencies? Regulatory agencies worldwide have taken a notice of such a demand for two reasons: to reduce a healthcare cost, as well as to reduce a agency worldwide have taken a notice of such demands for two reasons: to reduce healthcare costs as well as to protect the consumer from unsafe products. As in nutraceuticals, as the proper regulations are not there, there are so many industry players which are unsafe nutraceutical products are available in the market. One of the major problems in developing the regulation is a lack of clear definition of functional foods. Even water acts as some functional foods in some of the cases of disease. Most countries use the definitions which differs considerably from country to country. There is no a common definition, and there's no agreement between the countries. There is no single path between the countries for this nutraceuticals and functional foods. Simple example: a garlic, that's alum sativum. In UK, it is used for colds and cough, whereas in Germany, it is used for prevention of atherosclerosis. This is country to country variations, mainly for a same kind of a nutraceutical products. Now, there are some regulatory agencies which works on dietary supplements. Mainly US, we do have Food and Drug Administrative Dietary Supplements, which details on regulations and policies and guidelines. Australia, we do have TGA as well as food standards as a region-wise food standards, Australia and New Zealand. Then Canada, Health Canada is there, European Union Parliament Council, European Food Safety Authorities. China, we do have China Food and Drug Administration, Special Administrative Region of Hong Kong, Health Minister of China has a medicinal division. Japan do have their own. Singapore, they do have Health and Science Authorities. New Zealand is a MedSafe is there. India, we do have a Food Safety Standards Authority of India, that's FSSAI, which is established mainly effect from a norm, or there are guidelines which is available from 2016 and 2019. Again, we do have Ayush. We request any herbal compounds we want to market as a nutraceuticals. We request to have a approval from both Ayush as well as FSSAI. WHO is there, World Safe Medication is there, and International Alliance of Dietary Food Supplement Association is also available. But if you look at the developed countries, what exactly that says? Coming to the Japan, first to introduce the term as a functional food in 1980s early. These are mainly, they coined the term as functional food, but they do have foods for a specific health use as FOSHU, which was introduced in 1991. Japan is a very highly developed country, specifically in case of food. The Japanese Ministry of Health and Welfare consulted various government agencies, academia, food processor, and advisory committee to define categories of foods, ingredients, and health promoting properties. Japanese industry always works mainly from these three aspects. Mainly, they work through mainly government agencies and academia. They do not actually have the government always take information from academia and food processor advisory committee, and they promote. So each individual is considered as an auditor there. The process of getting an FOSHU status is very complex and involving three steps: development of product using approved ingredients, conduct of a clinical trial, and submit the documents to Ministry of Health and Welfare for the evaluation approval. Getting approval in a Japan for any food product is very critical. We have to list out what are the approved ingredients in a product. Whether the clinic, if you are claiming anything, a benefit of health benefit, whether the clinical study is conducted on that. If clinical study is conducted, you can't get the approval. And we have to submit all these documents to their Ministry of Health and Welfare. And after submitting the documents, they come, inspect, they review all the documents, and then only we will get the approval in a journal. Now, second country is United States of America. There is no legislative definition of functional foods in US. This is a difference. One country will have functional food, other do not have. The sales and development health claims of food fall under these three major aspects, mainly Food and Drug Administration and Modernization in 1997. These are the mainly laws which they do have. Nutritional and Labeling and Educational Act, that's NLEA in 1990s, and NLEA is the most suited for nutrient claims, which allows diet, disease, and health claims. They do have one more as a Dietary Supplement and Health Education Act, that is DSHA 1994, which is established a formal definition of dietary supplements using several criteria and includes herbs and other similar substances. USFDA conducts special inspections for mainly the food and dietary supplements industries, and now in India, so many industries are coming across this segment. The ginseng, garlic, fish oil, these can now be marketed as a dietary supplements in USA. There is no requirement for pre-market safety evaluation for new food ingredients or the new use for the existing ingredients. In European Union, in order to harmonize the regulations on dietary supplements throughout its member states, applicants for memberships and trading partners, the EU initiated a consultative process. After a lengthy, highly divisive consultative process, the Food Supplement Directive, always you have directives 2002-46 EC, was signed into a law on July 20, 2002. This legislation is harmonized for vitamins mineral regulation in all member countries. European Union will have a 27 countries plus 3 countries, and these are the harmonized guidelines for all 27 countries plus 3 countries, and they follow all these guidelines. Now coming to what is our status for the nutraceuticals. Nutraceuticals had a relatively late entry in the Indian healthcare sense. However, we are the innovators for the healthcare systems, mainly from the herbals as well as food diets. If you look at even early elder peoples, they always tell something for any kind of minor injuries or minor health effects. They always tell, even like a small cough starts, they always to have a milk with a turmeric. But these are nothing but nutraceuticals. So nutraceuticals and herbals and functional foods are covered as specific sections of 22 of a Food Safety and Standards Act of 2006. These food products have been recognized as health supplements, nutraceuticals, food for special dietary use, food for special medical purpose, and foods for functional foods and novel foods. However, in India, there are so many primitive stages. Even our Lay's packets should have a FSSAI approval. At present, India does not have any kind of regulatory guidelines for approval or monitoring of food products under this segment. These are very lucrative aspects, but these are very bad aspects as a nutraceutical is concerned. These products are regulated under the guidance of FSSAI, a 2006 amendments, which was done amendment further in 2011, 2015, 2016, 2018. And 2020, the new guidelines for foods for children is been launched in India. This was a recent development. There are schedules are there. Schedule 1, 2, up to schedule 8 are there, and still now there are some schedules which are in an imperative stage. So now, these are the food concept FSSI is. What are the key challenges of nutraceuticals markets in India? Main aspects of SSI is there is no concrete regulations from our Indian Food Safety Standards Association of India. There are consolidated earlier laws relating to foods and nutraceutical safety, etc. Government is still seeking a draft suggestions from the industries and other global aspects. Lack of regulations also makes it difficult for them to avail subsidies. That is also aspects. Second aspects of key challenges of nutraceuticals in India is high tax regimes. Nutraceuticals and other health supplements are subject to 18% tax. Even some categories do have 21% tax. More expensive than before, prior to 12% tax. No regularized systems for setting up a manufacturing plants in India for FSI. No audits is done. Only approvals are given on the basis of documentary basis. Challenging for a new form of players to enter is in unknown territory is a very important, very big challenge. If new players wants to enter, like your northeastern region or any other region, is a very difficult to enter in this new segment. The nutraceutical company themselves feel that regulations related to quality and safety are not there, but if it is there, they will benefit to the industry to keep a check on unregulated practices. This is one of the key challenges which I do have from mine. So as a health aspect is always stay safe and stay healthy, have a nutritious diet. Thank you very much from every one of each. If you have any questions, please ask, or you can comment in the comment box also.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your valuable talk. It is very wonderful topic, sir. I hope all participants are satisfied with your talk. So now, sir, we'll move to the questionnaire session.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So I'm just requesting Mr. Ramesh, you are the first participant. Mr. Ramesh Gadekar, sir. You can ask your question. Sir, Prashant, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, kindly stop sharing, sir.
Okay.
That your PPT, kindly stop sharing, sir.
Yeah, please.
I'm making Ramesh, sir. I'm making you unmute right now. You can ask your question, please. Ramesh, sir, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, Ramesh, sir.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah,
yes,
please.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
sir.
are.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
So my question is, if we continuously consume ready-made nutrients in the form of nutraceuticals, is there any chances that our body gets habituated to them, or our body capabilities to absorb these nutrients from our daily diet is reduces?
No, no, yeah, one of the important aspects really, suppose you do have a daily diet, all the nutrition is intact as a part of diet. If you are taking a daily any nutraceuticals as a consumption, whenever you are taking diet absorption is a very faster compared to your nutraceuticals. So your body will adjust in a such a way that whatever your requirement of a nutraceuticals will be there, that only will absorb, mainly first will absorb from your food, and then remaining will be absorbed from your daily diet. But as such, there is no effect on your body, because these are if you are taking any particular components from food also, or if you're taking for nutraceutical, even if it is excess amount is there, it will be washed out from easily from your body, because these are mainly water soluble and easily excreted from body. But however, the main always aspect, because your dietary supplements as a diet, if you are considering, your diet is always a preferred, because it's your body which takes other nutrients along with your required nutrients. And again, if you're taking a daily supplements also, that will also be required, because diets nowadays is, if you look at the diets, our diets are not compared to previous one. I say the nutritious diets are not there, so that will match up in such a way, but it will not have any effect on your body. Hope I answered your question.
Yes,
hello
sir. Yes, sir. Sir, next participant is Dr. Kamal Kishore, sir.
Yeah.
So actually his question, and also another one participant, Dr. JP Mohanty from Sikkim, that is the same question. That is, the nutraceuticals are really drugs or not?
These are not really drugs. These are categories, always a combination of this nutritional, which is having a medicinal effect. These are not drugs direct. These are not, but these are required to prevent a physiological conditions. In that case, suppose if you are taking a nutraceuticals, that will always a disease burden is increased. Like even most of the people, to prevent a diabetes, they always have some herbal kind of a nutraceuticals, which generally we take a day-to-day life. That is aspect.
Yes, sir. So, sir, the next participant is Preeti, madam. Preeti, you can ask your question, please. You can unmute yourself, madam. Yeah.
I think
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, please.
Sir, my question is that can we combine flavonoid containing compounds with the lipids to make NLCs like nanostructured lipid carrier to increase the solubility? Is it possible?
Yeah, it is pretty. It's one of the research, a very growing research area nowadays. We in fact worked on that, and it is one of the, if you look at the articles, there is a very good big research team which worked from Germany, specifically on these flavonoids which increase the viability, and they do have very good collaboration in India specifically. Yes, we can work to increase the solubility, because these flavonoids are very uh, important for body, and they do have various these physiological effects. Mainly as a medicine, yes, we can combine the lipid, and we can increase the, if you more increase the solubility of flavonoids, which will have a very big effect. Hardly, if you look at the flavonoid as a quercetin viability is only hardly a 3%, not more than that.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a very important topic for the research, and it's a really growing. You look for the articles. If you want to have any information, please let me know. Sir, I will share my email ID after this session. I do have all articles available on my cloud system. I can share with very much easily.
Sir, please share it, because my work of PhD is on this only. That is on NLC.
Sure. Yes, sure. Okay, you can get my profile online also. You can connect with me. Surely I'll share the details. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sure, madam. We'll send to you, madam. Preeti,
Yes,
madam.
sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Sir, our next participant is 1 minute. Radhika, madam. Please, you can ask your question. Radhika, madam. Madam, you can ask your question, please. She's writing message in the chat
please.
box. Some problem with audio. Okay, Radhika, madam, you can type your question in the chat box so that I will read and I will say. Sir, actually, she has given the message.
Yeah.
That is, will you please differentiate more in between nutraceuticals and functional food?
Yeah, in one of the slide, I covered that aspects. See, nutraceuticals nowadays is simple aspects. My requirement for the vitamin C is like a consider as a 500 milligram of a daily of vitamin C for my body, and it is like a, whether I'm taking a vitamin C capsule or I'm eating a 2 to 3 of oranges. Okay, see, if I'll take a 2 to 3 oranges as a oranges, and I'll make a juice of that, and that is also contains a 500 milligram of vitamin C. And if I'll take a tablet of vitamin C as a tablet, so if I'm taking a tablet, that becomes a nutraceutical. If I'm taking as a juice of orange, that becomes a functional food.
Okay, sir, with this only we are going to complete this questionnaire session. So actually, just now I received another one message, sir.
Yeah.
Dr. Manoj Kumar.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm consuming nutraceutical from years together. I have not experienced any single side effect.
Yeah, that's true. But my only sincere request, when you're taking from the marketed product, please look into a proper, whether which company manufacturing, what is the, whether quality aspects or any kind of aspects. You will not have any side effects, but take care carefully. But again, if you're taking like nutraceuticals along with some kind of a lifelong medications like a diabetes and all, we have to look that case. If you're on nutraceuticals, you will not get at all any side effects. But nutraceuticals, if like after over age factors, like suppose mixed with a diabetic medication or any hypertensive medications which may have a drug interacting properties, that will exert effects on our other medication but not on a nutraceuticals. So yes, always Dr. Manoj, you will not get side effect because your body requires. See, these are always a kind of a compounds which is a part of your nutrition. It is not a something we knew we got it from like we synthesize and we gave and we have supplied. It's always a part of from. But what we did in that case, as a human beings, what we did is these are the compounds which are taken or isolated and is given, which like suppose the diets will not have a particular compounds. Like suppose today we in a month together we are taking a particular vegetables and which we are not taken a long back. But better to if it is having nutraceuticals will always not issue. Yes, so it will,
Yeah,
you will not get always. Yeah, please, Abhijit, you can ask.
yes, yes. Abhijit. Yes, Mr. Abhijit, you can ask your question, please. Mr. Abhijit, kindly unmute yourself, please.
First of all, it was a very nice session, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Abhijit.
Sir, I would like to ask one thing, that is there any need to cycle the nutraceuticals which we are consuming in your day-to-day life? For example, if we just consider some protein supplements,
Yeah.
so is there any need to cycle them, means switch on and off cycle? Like after 3 months, we should switch off all the nutraceuticals, or we should switch the companies, brands which you are procuring right now?
Switching of companies. See, what is the first of all important aspects? What is the nutrition you are taking? Okay. If suppose like protein powders you're taking as a to have a effect on a just a minute, just go. Okay.
Yes,
If
sir.
protein powder you are taking a suppose a for muscular strength and all. Okay. So what is the requirement of a protein powder? That is very, very important aspects which we need to work it out. So but as a switching will not be there. But my opinion, if suppose we are taking a protein powder continuously, and if you are suppose a stop for 2-3 months, again there may be chances that if suppose in that case you may not get the protein diet, then there may be chances that your body may not be same as when you are taking that. Means there will be an exert effect on the body. Okay. If your requirement of protein powder for your body, and if you're not taking that in a particular span of time, there may be chances are there. Please avoid here in this case, like suppose a kind of things like you may do have like doctors will tell you for sometimes you don't eat the protein powder because you are in some medications or kind of that conditions I'm not talking about here. Okay. But
Yes, yes, sir.
yeah, but as if you're taking regularly and you are stopping for a long period of time in between, there may be chances that you may get some other physiological condition. But my request in that case, if you're having, because your body, what body requirement is that what any product if you are getting suit for your body and there is improvement in your body's body aspects or physiological aspects, that means it was a need of that nutraceuticals to you which you are having lacking of in your day-to-day diet, so it is getting exerts effect on your body. Okay. If you're taking a protein powder which is not required to your body and you're not getting any changes in your body, then obviously that means your diet is somewhat in such a way that whatever the requirement your body is there, it is getting fulfilled from your diet. So these are the two aspects. Yeah.
So means there is no need to stop or cycle the
No
supplements. We can
need
take
to
it
stop.
lifelong.
Yes, lifelong you can
Continue.
take. Yeah, or you don't want to as a nutraceuticals, you don't want to take, you convert to your as a day to you just see a food aspect such a way
Functional
that
food.
yeah, functional food way. That is
Like
absolutely right.
6 in
Yes.
in place of 1 scoop of protein, I can have 5 to 6 eggs
Yes,
or a
yes,
chicken
yes, yes,
as an
yes,
alternative. Okay, okay.
yes, that way.
And sir, in case of those multivitamins,
Yeah.
I have heard that there are some multivitamins brands which give all the vitamins in one single tablet.
Yes.
Means, but there is one like what we can say, competition between the absorption of those vitamins. Like for example, zinc competes with iron, and at the same time copper and calcium. So there is not proper absorption of those elements in our body if we just take them
Yes.
together.
Yes. A simple example I will tell you. See, absorption of calcium is very high from the milk compared to your calcium tablets.
Okay.
Okay. So if you are having a kind of functional food, that absorption is always higher because they do have not only a pure calcium, but they do have other constants which force to again as a competitively you are talking always a body requirements and a kind of a like if you say calcium magnesium channel. Okay. and kind of iron and zinc. So that is always a competitive assessment is there in a body. So body will try to accumulate in such a way that what is the need, and according to that the cycles is maintained in the body.
Okay, means as per the body requirements,
Yes,
it will
yes,
alternate the pathways. Means
yeah,
today, if it's requiring it deficient, having deficiency of iron, so it will
yes,
prefer iron over zinc.
yes. But this is not only a 1 or 2 days aspects. Okay,
Oh,
Abhijit,
yes,
just I
yes,
want to,
yes. No,
yeah,
no, no. Yeah, I
okay,
got that.
yeah.
Yes,
So that your this mechanism is a very in a case this mechanism is a very premature means it is a very difficult to understand. Okay,
okay.
and it's like it totally depends on absorption from your gut wall to the reaching to the required cells or required parts of the body. So only there is a membrane theory is there which aspects which talks always a calcium magnesium channel, potassium and potassium channel. So many channels are there. So how it is like, suppose your body is having excess of calcium, that time the calcium will comes out of the body, and again this one magnesium will be released in the magnesium will be absorbed. So these are challenges which is always there, but these are one of the biggest research area. People are working on that in this case.
So, sir, don't you think that there is wastage in taking a bunch of different kinds of elements in a single tablets, rather than we can just check the profile of our body, like which in what elements we are deficient,
Yeah,
and just take those elements rather than taking the complete bunch.
yeah. This see these aspects I will say that, see, if you have a kind of a long-term history, like simple aspects, I came a recent case across a 6 months before. A patient was having a HB very low always. Okay, it was a 9.7, 9.8 was there. Okay, and
Yes.
this was affecting, again it was on effect directly on bone marrow was also coming across. So in that case we are always be good to, but suppose I cannot go always after 8 days, let me to check what deficient is there, and then let me to have diet accordingly. Okay, so but
Yes.
if any history, a physiological history or any kind of a history, patient is suffering always from any kind of condition, in that case it is always there and try to change. But you see nowadays if you look at this cost wise, if you look at the
Yes.
rather than a modern kind of a delivery systems, the novel delivery systems, if you look at the simple aspects, what is the cost of the medication? Cost is very small in nutraceutical medication like vitamin tablets and all.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. But to check always and to alter, you may check for particular nutrition, but it may miss that time some other nutritions too.
Okay.
So that doesn't makes much harm to your body if you're taking a total vitamins together in a one tablet, or you do not have any exerts effects on your body if you're taking even if it is like, if you suppose in that case you will be very choosy to take a particular kind of medications only for to check and take it. But if you take it as a together all that case, you are not going to your body function is not going to affect in that case. If it is a body will act in such a way that if you do have excess kind of a particular vitamins, it may comes out of the body, specifically water soluble.
Yes.
But even amino acids, a nutraceutical product specifically, if it is excess amount, it will come excreted from the body. But in suppose if you go for particular kind of only a nutraceuticals, you may miss some other nutraceutical in that case.
Okay. So you suggest that we should take
Yes,
broad spectrum of
yes,
all vitamins.
yes.
And sir, in case of vitamin.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Abhijit, sir. Due to lack of time, we are going to conclude this session. So now I would like to request Ms. Vaisalya Adsare, madam, to summarize the today's session and conclude this. Madam, is over to you.
Just before, sir, I just want to have two aspects of the industry point of view. Dr.
Yes.
Mujawar and I think Prerna has asked in that case. Just I'll answer in short. Yes, we
Yes.
do have loan licensing aspects for the nutraceutical. Third party is available, but however, we should have a drug product available, and it should have a safety concerns and all established. Even so many people started doing that as a third party licensing. Loan licensing are doing. As a regular consumption, nutraceutical can replace the future in the drug. Yes, obviously, as a protective, as a prevention is better than cure. As a we always say, nutraceuticals always can to avoid aspects. But as a kind of, if suppose we do have junk foods regular consumption, and from that we get a permanent almighties like a diabetes or cardiovascular condition in a body, in that case consumption of nutraceutical will be benefit. But as already the almighty has came, see, always it is very difficult for that case. So consumption of nutraceutical 100% I cannot say, but always a prevention is better than cure. Always have a aspects for the nutraceuticals. Yes, back to Ayurveda is always good, Manoj sir, and I hope the people should admit. But as a faster acting, we always require the partially support from the allopathic is also. But back to Ayurveda is it's going to be there. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I
Yes,
just
madam.
yeah, please.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Mantri.
Dr. Mantri. And thank you, Doctor. It was really an overwhelming session. I too have a question before coming to the summary and conclusions.
Please.
Sir, is a prescription required for the consumption of nutraceuticals?
Yeah, now there are these are the in India specifically we don't require because these are a OTC product. Okay.
Okay, sir. So nutraceutical being a vast topic actually, and I
Yes.
believe that everyone here will believe that you have done a great job by summing up it in a very effectively manner.
Yes, yes. It's a
There
very
is a
short
light
time.
in the
Yes.
can. And at the current example is the pandemic situation, wherein the role of the nutraceuticals, clinical research, pharmacy per se, has obtained enormous voice in our society. You have rightly
Yes,
said that yes, diet nowadays do not satisfy the nutritious need of our body. Growing awareness about health and fitness has already paving the path for a thriving competitive landscape for the nutraceuticals in India, and the current pandemic situation has created this awareness of nutraceuticals. If I understand, the nutraceutical industry in India is expected to hold at least 3.5% of the global market by 2023, sir.
yes.
And also in India, it is expecting to grow from 4 billion in 2017 to 18 billion in 2000. And that is just because from the middle class also. As nutraceuticals has offered opportunities for the pharmaceutical companies to make their products more consumer oriented and for the products to create brands with a medical image, this convergence of the medicine, food and technology is further likely to provide impetus to the food processing industry and the retail sector in India also.
Yes.
And I can understand again, this will help in rising up from the billion to $1 trillion. I think that will be very soon.
Yes.
The growth
Yes.
of the nutraceuticals, sir, as seen, has also given rise to the ventures such as the famous Patanjali,
Yeah.
Health Cart, and from creating room for further consolidation by global brands such as Nestle, Amway in the Indian market, sir.
Yes. Yes. That's true. Really.
Sir, you have efficiently covered nutraceuticals product-wise, application-wise, and ingredient-wise. Also, we have seen the various advantages of the nutraceuticals, the challenges specifically in the product development of nutraceuticals has been covered.
Yes.
And I believe our regulatory body also will very soon create the desired awareness, and the necessary steps will be ensured for the approval prior to its marketing. Thank you, sir, for this overwhelming session. And now I hand it over to Mr. Karan Mahajan for the vote of thanks, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Arsena. Good afternoon to everyone. It's my pleasure to present a vote of thanks for today's webinar. Today's webinar was full of knowledge and very informative to us. And I would like to thank to Dr. Prashant Musmade sir for accepting our invitation and spare your valuable time with us. Thank you so much, sir, from management side, from principal side, and from organizing committee. I would like to thank from our beloved principal, Dr. Ganesh Dama sir, for giving permission to organizing such kind of webinar. And last, I would like to thank to all of the participants to join the session and to make this event successful. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Kiran sir. Sir, Dr. Prashant sir, it is very nice session. Till now, I can see some participants, they're raising their hand. And
Yes.
also they're asking some question. Continuously, they're typing the chat box. I can see. Sir, it is very wonderful session, sir. But due to the lack of time, we are concluding this session. And
Yes.
dear participant, definitely I will share sir contact number so that you can communicate with our speaker, sir, in the future.
Yes, yes,
Thank you,
yes.
everyone.
Yes, thank you very much. It's my opportunity to deal. I hope some light has been focused on this nutraceutical. It's like a topic. If I talk a whole day also, then also we can't cover.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the aspects. But in India, it's a very primitive this segment, and continuously I'm working on that. I'm guiding to the aspects. I'm guiding to the peoples, and it's a really wonderful. I work in fact on a nutrients to the sunscreen aspects. Okay.
Sir.
Yeah, so that is the aspect. So anytime I have kept my email ID in a chat box, and you can just contact to the organizers if you request to have any information. I am always available. Thank you very much.
Sir, 1 minute, sir.
Please.
Sir, this is the virtual certificate for the today's session, sir. This is the
Okay, sure.
recognition certificate to you, sir, and same thing also will send to email ID also, sir.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing.
Okay.
Shall we stop, sir, now?
Yeah, we can stop. I will sign off from meeting also, and thank you
Yes.
for organizing committee and arranging all these sessions. I hope I have contributed to the society, and all the best for your future.
Thank you, sir.